to Magic the Gathering Arena. This is Dark Native, and I figured I'd just do an update because today we've had some cards that were banned. Oh my, oh my, right here. Cauldron Familiar, Growth Spiral, Teferi Time Raveler, and Wilderness Reclamation, all banned. I figured since this was kind of unexpected and out of the blue, that I figured I'd share it with the fans and let everybody know what's going on with Magic. Um, yes, these are good bans. These are cards that should have been banned, predominantly. And my 2 cents, just I figured I'd put what I thought about it is Cauldron Familiar. Can't stand that card. Can't stand the cat. Can't stand the whole Rakdos sacrifice deck. Don't like the mechanics behind it. Don't care for it at all. I would have wanted the oven, the Witch's Oven, to be banned. But if I'm Wizard of the Coast, then I would assume that from like a fair standpoint, you don't want to completely shut down decks that unless they're like just 100% oppressive, but you want them to be, mitigated and tailored. So I think that's why Cauldron Familiar was banned over Witch's Oven, which I guess I'd have to agree with that. I don't like it. I mean, I do like it because I don't like the cat, but I think, in my personal opinion, the Oven would have been a much better card to ban over Cauldron. But on the same token, if banning Witch's Oven, you essentially destroy Rakdos Sack into the ground. Growth Spiral. Alright, so yes, ramp is a thing. Simic ramp is a thing, and we know that ramping is a thing. I like Simic ramp because it's real close to Green Stompy, as far as getting mana to play very impactful things. The problem though with Simic, unlike Mono Green Stompy, is Simic is extremely efficient at doing that. If turn 1 Arboreal Grazer gets you to land, turn 2 Growth Spire gets you on 4 land, and then Uro gets you on 6, maybe 7 or 8 land by turn 3. Yeah, that's way too efficient. Way too efficient. And with Growth Spiral and Uro both in the format together, so I'm not surprised about this ban. Like, something's got to give. And I think Growth Spiral was the correct choice. It is a very essential piece in Simic Ramp as far as getting tempo, but it's not a key card that will just straight break Simic, if that makes sense. You can not have this card and still ramp fairly well. There's plenty of ramp pieces out there. I mean, Oro's still out there, and Oro is the more interesting interactive card, and it does the same thing. Draws your card, puts your land on the battlefield. So I understand the Growth Spiral. I will miss it because I sure as heck loved using it, but I get it. I get it. Teferi. Exactly. That long pause is because this card shouldn't even be talked about right now. Teferi should have been banned 2 months after printing. This card, in essence, literally says opponent player can't play Magic. Why would you print a card that says your opponent can't play Magic, when the whole purpose of having a card game called Magic the Gathering is to play Magic? Yes, I am happy. As much as I enjoy playing with this card is insanely overpowered. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they can cast a sorcery, so literally 3/4 of the cards designed in Magic can't be played as long as this card's on the field. And you wonder why almost every deck that has white or blue in it runs this card. It's insane. Like, this card should have not been printed, period. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a very fun card, it's a very broken card, but for the sake and the sanity of people who play Magic, this card should have not existed. Wilderness Reclamation is getting banned because I believe it's due to the pro scene. I think it's like 56 or 60% of the decks in the pro scene are Wilderness Reclamation decks. Any card game you play, this is just my 2 cents now. Any card game you play where over half the decks in the pro level of play are all the same or very similar variants of the same deck, that is not a very good deducive environment for a card game. And the reason for that is because people want to express themselves in just about anything they do. And if the only set of cards that win fit in one deck, people can express their ideals on how to best play the game. Forcing them to either play stuff that they like but have to feel that constant beating of always losing because nothing else is viable except the one deck that's working at the pro level, or succumb to wanting to win and only play the decks that work at the pro level and it being that one deck. That is not an inclusive group of people to play in a card game. So when Wizards Tournament started having, I mean, this card I think should have been banned a while ago as well too, because it's, I mean, this thing was out when we had Agent of Treachery and what was the other card? It escapes me. There's a blue card you played when you just essentially bounce everything on the field. It'll come to me. I'll remember. But it's a blue card that allows you. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna look it up because I know what I'm talking about, and I sound like a retard. And I know what I'm talking about. It's a blue magic card that bounces everything back to your hand, and then you can play one card for free. Omniscience. Thank you. When Omniscience was a thing. When Omniscience was a thing, you play this, bounce all your stuff, play Omniscience, and then play everything for free. Like this card's been around for a while, and it's just been breaking the game ever since it's been printed. So yeah, that is a thing. But I figured I'd have to let my viewers know what's going on. This is my little 5-6 minute rant on these cards. I'm happy that these 4 are getting banned. Growth Spire, you be missed. Cauldron Familiar, I hope you die. Teferi, you shouldn't have never existed. And Wizards Tournament, it's about time you've been put in check. If you liked these flash updates, leave a comment, like and subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I post a video. And now that these cards are banned, I think we'll have a much more inclusive group of decks that we'll see, and it won't just be Wilderness Teferis and Simic Ramp. But that is my 2 cents, and I hope you enjoyed. Good night.